Picture this. You spent thousands of dollars on your perfect 2022 Disney World trip. You get to Orlando. All of a sudden, you realize you've forgotten something important. Really important. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and I'm about to tell you why you don't want to visit Disney World without these things. What types of things? Well, things that will make your Disney World vacation go more smoothly, become less stressful, and prepare you for a few bumps in the road that you might not even be expecting. So let's get started. We're going to start out with a new itinerary. If you're a frequent Disney World vacationer, there's no need to recycle the same old itinerary for 2022 because you know what? Everything's different and it's time to shake things up and experience all the new offerings available around property. In 2021, Disney World introduced us to a lot of new experiences like 150 plus 50th anniversary snacks, additions to Epcot's France Pavilion, Drawn to Life by Cirque du Soleil, Space 220 at Epcot, Steakhouse 71 at Disney's Contemporary Resort, and the list goes on. 2021 also brought back a whole bunch of favorites that we'd been missing since the park's closures back in 2020. Resorts opened, shows came back, and some were reimagined, like a celebration of Festival of the Lion King. Restaurants returned with modified menus. Select tours started accepting reservations again. Basically, 2021 really kept us on our toes here at DFB, and 2022 is going to do the same. Disney's promised us a lot more things to come for this new year, many of which we're still waiting to hear more about, especially when it comes to official opening dates. So if you're a creature of habit, it's time to retire that reliable itinerary of yours and swap it out for a shiny new one, because even though lots of things are opening and reopening, there's still a lot of stuff that's closed. So you definitely want to pay attention to what's closed, what's open, what only opens some of the days or only opens some of the hours. We've got all that information on Disney Food Blog. We are covering that for you every day. So it's time to be a little more flexible and it's time to change things up. Make a list of the new things you want to try, even if those things have been around for a while and you just haven't gotten around to trying them yet, like Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run or Avatar Flight of Passage. If you haven't been to Disney since the closures, you'll be walking into a whole new realm with new park hopping guidelines, park pass reservations, virtual queue systems, and your updated plans need to reflect that. If building a new itinerary from scratch to accommodate all the newness of the park seems intimidating, well, then you can maybe check out the Disney Genie free tool. This is available from Disney. It's on the Disney Experience app, and the complimentary free service aims to help you create what they think is a customizable itinerary based around your top tier priorities. So you want to meet some of the characters now that meet and greets have returned, or maybe you want to use premium services, Disney Genie Plus and the individual attraction selections to bypass those lines and jump into shorter lines. Well, they can help you plan around that. The free portion of Disney Genie also has tip boards, virtual assistants, and dining tools to help you build this new itinerary. But the most important thing is to stay in touch, stay tuned, know what's opening, know what's closing, and we can do all that for you here on DFB, so you are in the right place. Okay, number 2 on our list, still masks and mask items. Since March of 2020, Disney's health and safety regulations have changed a lot, and they're bound to change again during 2022. But as of the release of this video, face masks are still mandatory while indoors on Disney property for all guests ages 2 and up, regardless of your vaccination status. Face masks continue to remain optional for all outdoor locations. That means packing a comfy and breathable face mask is still important as we head into the parks this year. We found some solid options on Amazon, like the highly rated Beat Basic masks. The website states that these are very soft, durable, and breathable for all seasons. Disney also sells masks in their shops. You can buy them on property, or you can get official Disney masks for cheaper on the Shop Disney website. Just remember that these usually run very small. Mediums should work well for kids between the ages of 3 and 10. Larges will more than likely work for adults, and you may even need an extra large. One of our reporters mentioned how she prefers to wear surgical masks around the parks now. She even found some fun leopard print styles for $13.99 that come in a pack of 50. You can also check out the masks on the DFB site. We've come up with some fun designs, colorful characters on our masks that provide comfort and complete coverage over your nose and mouth. I'll link our full list of options in the description below. And while you're out mask shopping before your trip, keep in mind that you're not going to need just one mask. I suggest you get several. We like to have 3 to 4 in our park bags at all times, and I like to have different types of masks as well, because if it's super, super hot, those disposable masks just tend to get really sweaty on the inside and super uncomfortable, and I switch to a cloth mask, and sometimes I want to go back to the disposable mask once I'm inside. I like to try lots of different kinds of masks while I'm spending a day in Disney World. Sometimes it's good to just switch it out. And of course, with our reporters, our masks have gone through the works. Straps have snapped. Rain has soaked them through. We've lost them on rides. We've found them just not nearly as comfortable as we thought they'd be. All of that happens. So pack multiple masks in multiple styles for those whoopsie-daisy scenarios. Mask chains have been quite the lifesaver for us on several occasions, especially since we found ourselves having to take off our mask, put it back on, wash and repeat many times throughout the day. You can find mask chains in all sorts of styles at places like Amazon, numerous big box stores, and even in the Disney parks themselves. If the straps of your mask are irritating your ears, you can invest in some ear protectors ahead of time. Currently, you can purchase a pack of 5 for $7.99 on Amazon. If you accidentally purchase a mask that's too big on your kiddo, have some loop fasteners on hand. That way you can adjust the ear loops to prevent these masks from sliding down and irritating your kid for the remainder of the day. Now, there are several ways to make sure your masks feel more comfortable and look adorable so you can enjoy your park day to its fullest. Next on our list is hand sanitizers. Along with all the health and safety regulations Disney's put into place and continues to modify on into 2022, hand sanitizing stations are also a big part of the parks right now. You can find hand sanitizing stations at several locations around Disney property, including near gift shops and rides and restaurants and around all the corners of the parks, hotels, and Springs stores. But that doesn't mean these sanitizing stations will always be stocked. This is something we've noticed quite a bit as our reporters go into Disney World every day. Sometimes you get off a ride ready to sanitize, and the closest hand sanitizing station will be as empty as Pooh's honey pot after he licks it clean. If these hand sanitizing stations aren't empty, then great, go for it. But be warned, some guests aren't huge fans of the official Disney sanitizer smell or sticky texture. That's why pre-purchasing small and portable hand sanitizer bottles like Purell or Germ-X is something you're going to want to write down on your things I must pack for Disney list. Disney often sells those small Germ-X bottles in their gift shops, but they're $1.49, and you may be able to get them less expensive elsewhere. To make your portable hand sanitizer even cooler, you can also purchase a sanitizer keychain. That way you don't have to keep rustling through your bag to re-find your sanitizer. And it's also not a bad idea to purchase a bulk pack of wet wipes from Amazon or your big box store. I bring these all the time. I even brought them pre-pandemic. They're just useful and helpful, and just like those Ziploc bags, always come in handy. Next on our list is knowing where the least crowded bathrooms are. You definitely don't want to visit Disney World without knowing this. Speaking of crowds, you want to avoid some of the worst crowded areas of the Disney parks happen around the restrooms. And knowing how to avoid the most clogged potty areas, sorry, that sounds awful. You guys should yell at Bria who wrote this about that. That just is awkward. Can be vital when you've got to go now. Get it? Clogged bathroom? Oh, she even makes a joke out of it. Oh, Bria. Now, we've got a whole video covering the least crowded bathrooms around the park, but I'll shout out a few now so you can catch up on the rest later. In Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom, you want to hit up the restrooms to the right of Gaston's Tavern. These are a bit off the beaten path of the other Fantasyland offerings, meaning they're oftentimes overlooked. So take advantage and thank Gaston for his hospitality, or just order a large cinnamon roll from his tavern afterwards, because those things are real good. In the Muppets Courtyard section of Disney's Hollywood Studios, you can find Gonzo's Royal Flush restrooms. These aren't hidden or anything, but this section of the park just doesn't see quite the crowd levels that like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land do. Plus, they're spacious and witty, and who doesn't love a witty bathroom? Now, in the Norway Pavilion at Epcot, you can find Frozen-themed restrooms. Now, these themed restrooms aren't as in your face as the ones over in the Tangled area of the Magic Kingdom, which I also adore. Instead, these ones are more tucked away, located around the corner of the Frozen Ever After ride, so you might want to use these before jumping in that Frozen Ever After queue. Also in Epcot, there's a really great restroom in the American Adventure Pavilion, and it's tucked way in the back, so most people don't even know it's there, but it's huge and it's beautiful. And I know you guys want me to talk about the restrooms right by Journey into Imagination. Yep, those are rarely used, always empty. And lastly, let's shout out Rafiki's Planet Watch at Disney's Animal Kingdom again, because honestly, that's one of the quietest locations throughout all the Disney parks, because it's way far away, and you're going to have to take the Wildlife Express train to reach it. So if you've got to go like ASAP, well, a better option in Animal Kingdom is probably the restrooms that are close to a celebration of the Festival of the Lion King. But if you're already at Rafiki's Planet Watch, take advantage of the privacy, and as Elsa would say, let it go. No, Bria, why? Next on our list is white noise machines. It doesn't matter whether you're staying at a value, moderate, or deluxe hotel. A Disney hotel is still a hotel, and hotel walls can be rather thin. And by rather thin, we mean you can literally hear the people going to the bathroom upstairs. If you're a light sleeper and want to make sure you're well rested for those late nights in the parks, and because you got to see the new fireworks shows at Magic Kingdom and Epcot, then investing in a white noise machine can help drown out the noise of potentially noisy neighbors. I can't tell you how many times I have been woken up by somebody snoring next door. High-rated white noise machines like the iHome brand range in price from $30 to $80. That's too expensive. Don't do it. For a cheaper option, you can always download a white noise app on your phone. There are several options to choose from with high ratings, and those are sometimes really good in a pinch. There are also less expensive actual white noise machines. Sometimes you can find white noise machines that are like small enough to be keychains. Those you'll usually find in baby sections of stores or online, and those are super, super helpful. Speaking of babies, that's another reason to get a white noise machine. If you have a napper, you will never believe how loud the hallways of your Disney hotel can get when you really desperately want your child to be napping. So bring that white noise machine. That will help a lot. Now, if you're more of a person who needs absolute quiet when you're going to bed, purchasing earplugs in the pharmacy section of your local drug or grocery store may be a better route to take there. Next on our list are the DFB Printables. Listen, I get it. Technology is the way we keep track of most of our information nowadays, but sometimes it's nice to have a physical copy of Disney lists that you can refer to whenever, wherever, and without having to worry about the battery percentage on your phone. And that's where we come in. On the DFB website, we have cute and stylish printable versions of the Epcot Festival offerings and Disneyland offerings, by the way, meaning you can have a physical list of all the booths and foods available before you enter the parks. That way you can ooh and ah over all the different options with the entire family. Now, these printables on the website are completely free. These are not the DFB guides that we talk to you about in these videos that you have to pay for. These are totally free. We make these for every single festival. We make them for most of the events as well. And I've gotten a ton of really awesome feedback on them. They're very helpful to people. So right now, Epcot is currently in Festival of the Arts mode, which will run until February 21st. So if you're planning on visiting this artsy fartsy festival, make sure to get a free copy of our 2022 Festival of the Arts printable guide and study up on all those food and beverage offerings beforehand. Go at it with a highlighter and make sure you know everything you want to try. And if you're still overwhelmed by the new Disney Genie service, you are not alone. No, really, you're not alone. That thing is wild. That's why we created a free printable for that too, to help you visualize all the pieces and parts that make up this new limb of the My Disney Experience app. We'll link the printable in the description below. Along with these printable guides, we also love making maps. Call us professional cartographers, if you will. Yes, I know Disney World makes its own maps on the app and its special physical park brochures, but these maps are very, very important. Some of our exclusive maps include markings of all the entrances and exits to rides, shows, shops, and attractions, dotted lines illustrating the paths that Disney lines tend to take when they start getting too long, because sometimes trying to find the end of those lines can be an unnecessary challenge. And let's not forget, we got specific maps for the Epcot Festival booths that pop up around the World Showcase. That way you know where exactly your must-try booths are located before you step foot into Epcot. So go ahead, download and print away. Maybe you can even hang it on your fridge after. We would feel honored. Okay, another thing you should not visit in Disney World without knowing is the prime coffee locations. Look, I know Starbucks has some delicious coffee options, but the lines for all the Starbucks locations in Disney World get really, really long. Like, why wait an hour for a Frappuccino that you can get back home when you've paid so much money to be in a theme park? It's especially time draining if you're waiting in those lines at the start of the day when rides are typically shorter. That just doesn't make sense. So study up on these locations, which will more than likely provide shorter wait times and quicker caffeine fixes so you can get over to the rides, which are the things you really paid for. Joffrey's is the official specialty coffee provider for the Disney parks and has several kiosks located in lots of areas around the parks, hotels, and Disney Springs. These kiosks normally see much shorter wait times than Starbucks kiosks and locations and provide not just coffee beverages, but also tea and smoothie options too. A cool thing about the Joffrey's coffee kiosks is that you'll have exclusive options at each place. At Joffrey's Revive, you can find the specialty Mission to S'mores latte, while the Disney Skyliner kiosk features the Toffee Flight latte. Joffrey's will also have special offerings depending on the season and Epcot festivals. I'll link our post that explores all the different Joffrey's locations in the description so you can study up on them before your big trip. It's also not a bad idea to grab a coffee before you get to the parks. Many Disney hotels have a coffee maker right there in your room with coffee, sugar, and cream all ready to go for no additional cost. Will it be life-changing coffee? I don't know, maybe. It's Joffrey's. Will it get the job done? Yes. If you're staying off property and have a hotel that serves continental breakfast, you can also get your coffee fix before you start your Disney-fied day. Next on our list is an updated GPS. Okay, if you haven't driven around Walt Disney World before and you plan on doing so for the first time in 2022, just know that your first go around can be a little confusing. The signage can feel real skewed, road closures can slow you down, and traffic jams can appear out of nowhere. So having an updated GPS system or navigation app so that you don't have to depend on the Disney signage can be extremely beneficial when it comes to navigating this whole new world for you. The major problem, honestly, is that Disney has set up its road signs to manage the traffic appropriately, not necessarily to get you places as quickly as possible. So if you do want to get someplace as quickly as possible, then having a GPS will probably tell you to go in a different direction from what the road signs will. But you'll probably get there faster. Now, the Waze app is something we use often since it'll show those pesky traffic jams and road closures on its map. And Google Maps should also be able to take you where you need to go with ease. Consider investing in a cell phone cradle for your car so that you can have a clear view of the map on your phone while driving around property. It's also a good idea to study up on these roads ahead of time before you blindly jump into the wonderful world of navigation. I have spent many minutes, and by minutes I mean hours, driving in the wrong direction, going off property, and having to figure out how to turn around and come back. So definitely study it ahead of time. That way you've got a better idea of what to expect, where to go, and what to do if you make a mistake. Time is money in Disney World, and you don't want to be spending your time driving around Orlando when you want to be at Disney World. Next on our list is extra spending money. Okay, I don't have to tell you twice, Disney prices are far from magical right now. In the past year, we've seen item prices increase, new merch hit the store shelves, an increase in premium add-ons and benefits, and extra purchases we didn't have to budget for previously. Rest in peace, Fast Pass and Disney's Magical Express. So budget at least $100 over what you think you're going to wind up spending to give yourself wiggle room for unexpected expenses. Sometimes we even recommend using Disney gift cards to help you keep track of how much you're spending. You can purchase Disney gift cards at Target, online, or in stores, and use your Target Red Card to receive a 5% discount on your purchase, meaning you're going to end up paying a little less money for more park money. Don't forget, you'll also have to pay for things like parking for the hotels and theme parks if you plan on driving a car around the property. Parking your car as a guest at one of the Disney hotels will cost you around $15 to $25 per night. And if you're not a guest at the resort but still plan on driving to the Disney parks each day, then you'll pay $25 per day to park your car around the parks. Next on our list is reservations. You definitely don't want to go to Disney World without them. Time for rapid fire reservations. If you're going to Disney World in 2022, you need to make sure you have these 4 all locked and loaded. Number 1, park pass reservations. After you purchase your theme park tickets, make sure to pick what day and which parks you want to visit, then make your park pass reservations on the Disney website or My Disney Experience app. That way you can secure your spot in the parks before they fill up. Number 2, advanced dining reservations. Yep, ADRs are extremely important for those hotspot dining locations, but it's also a good idea to book other table service restaurants in advance too. Otherwise, you'll have to gamble with your chances that there'll be an open table the day you want to go. Advanced dining reservations open up 60 days before your trip, so the sooner you can book those, the better. Number 3, hotel reservations. Disney resorts are already starting to fill up, especially for peak season times like spring break. Once you figure out a time frame for when you want to go to the parks, start looking into booking a hotel quickly. You can always change your booking. I'd recommend locking in your resort stay, then booking your park tickets, then your park passes, so you for sure know you'll have a place to stay for each night of your trip and you'll be able to get into the parks. Try aiming to book your hotel at least a few months before you plan on staying. That way, if something changes between now and then, you'll be able to cancel or switch dates without worrying about being charged any cancellation fees. And reservation number 4, Mears Connect or Sunshine Flyer. Now that Disney's Magical Express has been taken out to pasture, you've got to make reservations on either the Mears Connect or Sunshine Flyer to get you to and from the Orlando International Airport and over to your hotel, if that's how you want to travel. But if you forget to make a reservation for one of these new transportation reservation systems, you can always pay for one of the rideshare services instead. Need more details about any of those reservations I just mentioned? Check out the DFB website for step-by-step guides, recommendations, price breakdowns, and descriptions for all of the above. Don't worry, we got you covered. Next on the list is technology. The future is now. In order to fully navigate Disney World in 2022, you're going to need your phone. And on your phone, you'll want to have the following apps preloaded. My Disney Experience. This holds all of your crucial Disney information like reservations, park tickets, Disney Genie access, mobile ordering, memory maker photos, and several other key items to help you stay organized and maximize your vacation. It'll also tell you where all the bathrooms are. There you go. Second app, Play Disney. This adds an extra layer of immersion to your park visit, so depending on where you are in Disney property, you'll be able to access different games and stories and other interactive experiences. This will also be super fun if you plan on staying at the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser when it opens on March 1st, 2022. The Play Disney app will help you make the choices that'll build onto your personal story during your time on the ship and at Galaxy's Edge. Okay, third app, AccuWeather. It's impossible to keep track of the Orlando weather patterns, but we found the AccuWeather app to be the most reliable when it comes to navigating the hourly and even the minutely forecast. Next, Instacart, Amazon Fresh, Shipt, other delivery apps. If you forgot something crucial from your packing list, but you don't want to waste time leaving the Disney bubble to pick it up, nor do you want to pay a premium price for said item in one of the Disney gift shops, then you can use a delivery app to get any necessities or groceries delivered to your hotel. And lastly, the rideshare apps. If you'd rather not rely on Disney's transportation to get you from place to place around the property, being able to reach out for a rideshare service like Uber or Lyft may help you get to your destination faster while also receiving a more private ride, at a cost, of course. But familiarize yourself with using these rideshare apps before you go to Disney World. And since you'll be using your phone quite a bit while in Disney World, make sure your phone is fully charged throughout the day by investing in a portable battery ahead of time. You can purchase a fuel rod from one of the kiosks around Disney for $30. They'll be cheaper if you get it at the airport or someplace near your home. When your fuel rod runs out of juice, you can swap it for another fully charged one at any of the fuel rod locations around Disney World. And you might also want to bring your USB charger in case you take a pit stop near one of the park's charging stations. And one more thing we want to make sure you don't go to Disney World without in 2022 is patience. I know, but seriously, since we're already on the subject of how the parks have thoroughly changed since pre-closure times, let's get real here for a second. Sometimes it's difficult to be patient with people in the Disney parks, and if I'm being really, really honest, it can be difficult to be patient with people at all. And after 2 years of staying socially distanced, or at least being encouraged to keep our social distance, a lot of us have become even less tolerant of crowds than we were before. Like I mentioned earlier, changes are going to continue throughout the year in Disney World regarding the health regulations, and it may feel like a game of pinball, but you can keep checking back here to stay up to date on what the latest regulations are for the parks. In the meantime, practice patience with others. Practice patience with other guests and cast members, even your own group, because believe me, you'll all start to get on each other's nerves. It's easy to get overwhelmed at times, but everyone else is feeling that frustration and unease along with you at some point or another during the day. So take breaks often during your day. Find quiet places to escape for a quick breather. A few of my favorite spots to relax and recharge are Epcot's American Adventure Pavilion, which features a 30-minute audio animatronic show that'll give you some time to get off your feet and sit for a bit in the AC. Magic Kingdom's Carousel of Progress, which has a similar vibe to the American Adventure presentation. It's also an audio animatronic show, but this one's in a slow rotating theater. Over at Animal Kingdom, there's Nomad Lounge. That's one of my very, very favorite places just to relax for a little bit. And Rafiki's Planet Watch at Disney's Animal Kingdom as well, which not only has an affection section where you can pet some really cute animals, but also has an animation class where you can draw your frustrations away. So what do you think? Do you feel a little more prepared to take on Disney World by storm? I'll tell you what, I'll throw in a bonus thing that'll help you tremendously while you're planning where you want to eat at the parks. Remember how I mentioned those DFB guides to Walt Disney World dining? Those are still really, really helpful, and we're really proud of this book, y'all. It's got tips, it's got reviews, it's got restaurant descriptions, it's got all of my personal recommendations, and it's even got a discount code if you're looking to save some moolah on this digital download. Just type in code YouTube before checking out. And if this guide isn't what you were expecting, let us know and you can get a full refund. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. I know you can do this. I know you can handle it, and you got it all wrapped up. Stick with us here at DFB Guide, and we will continue to deliver the goods on news, information, details you need for your Disney World vacations, Our job, the reason we get up in the morning, is to make sure you have a better trip to Disney World. We love to do it. We're passionate about it. And we thank you so much for joining us here so that we can do it. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.